Does it ever cross your mind that many times you won't get that amazing woman, the most beautiful, the hottest one? Yes, it's normal, and I've been through that many times myself. But that's exactly where the problem lies, losing before you even try to play the game. Let me ask you this question. Have you ever achieved something in life that you thought was impossible? Anything in any area, whether it was scoring a great goal in a football game with friends, getting a promotion at work, or hitting a small personal goal. If you've ever achieved something you thought was impossible, stick with me in this video. Masculine self-confidence is one of the central pillars when it comes to attraction. It's not just about having a commanding posture, but about how a man feels about himself. Women can quickly sense a man who knows himself, who is confident in his actions and decisions. Self-confidence doesn't need to be displayed extravagantly, but should be tangible in everyday behavior. What's most important, however, is that this internal security sets the tone for all interactions. Many men believe they need a perfect physique or grand gestures to conquer. However, the reality is that women's psychology responds more to the energy and how a man carries himself in trivial situations. A practical example would be something as simple as maintaining eye contact without hesitation during a conversation. Small details like these speak much louder than fancy words or attempts to impress. The conquest is deeply linked to how a man responds to daily challenges with confidence. Cultivating this self-confidence, however, is an ongoing process. Men who invest in personal development, whether through reading books that discuss mindset and leadership, like Mindset, The New Psychology of Success, or even engaging in sports that demand discipline, are always a step ahead. Women are naturally drawn to this solid confidence, as it brings a sense of security and stability, something highly valued. And the more self-confident the man, the more natural the conquest becomes. Female behavior in the pursuit often reflects emotional expectations that aren't always evident at first glance. Most women are looking for more than just words or empty promises. They want to feel a genuine connection. That's why a man's behavior, when authentic and attentive, makes all the difference. Male attraction is amplified when he understands that these expectations go beyond the physical and delve into the emotional realm. Psychologically, women tend to observe attitudes carefully, looking for consistency and congruence. Small gestures, like showing genuine interest in the details of their lives or simply listening attentively, have a profound impact. It's essential for a man to understand that a woman's behavior in the pursuit is shaped by subtle cues that reveal if he is emotionally available and stable. These factors are decisive in how a woman perceives and feels about a man. To create this emotional connection, a man must be willing to open up, but in a balanced way. It's not about sharing everything at once, but offering small doses of vulnerability, creating an environment of trust. This is the key to meeting women's emotional expectations. A simple example: by sharing a personal story that demonstrates overcoming adversity and determination, he not only reveals his own humanity but also builds a deeper emotional bond, which is central to the conquest process. The conquest, in essence, is a psychological game that involves much more than words or obvious gestures. Women are attracted to men who understand this dynamic and know how to balance mystery and clarity. In the realm of women's psychology, there is a natural interest in what isn't easily deciphered. Therefore, the art of the conquest involves offering enough signals to maintain interest, while always preserving a touch of unpredictability. The psychological game of conquest also requires a keen perception of female emotions. A man must know when to advance and when to retreat, without seeming disinterested or overly persistent. A practical example would be, instead of sending constant messages to show interest, investing in conversations that truly spark curiosity and emotions, focusing on quality, not quantity. This approach creates a feeling of mutual desire and keeps the male attraction alive. Finally, understanding the rhythm of this process is crucial. The conquest cannot be forced, and it's in this patience that many men fail. Knowing when to act with intensity and when to let the moment develop naturally is the key to building a lasting bond. When a man masters this art, he is not only seen as a seducer, but as someone who deeply understands female psychology. And that's what makes all the difference. Masculine self-confidence has a direct effect on female behavior. When a woman feels she is with a man who is secure in himself, it triggers a natural reaction of interest and admiration in her. This type of self-confidence creates an atmosphere of safety and stability, two fundamental elements for her to feel comfortable and open to involvement. In this case, male attraction does not arise merely from physical appearance, but from a confident demeanor that conveys both power and serenity. Female behavior in pursuit situations tends to change when there is a man who knows what he wants and isn't afraid to show it. Women are attracted to men who, even in the face of challenges, maintain their calm and determination. A practical example would be a man who, in a conflict situation, manages to keep his composure, solve the problem without drama, and still exude confidence. This attitude provokes a positive and subconscious response in women. On the other hand, when this self-confidence is genuine, the impact is even deeper. It's not about arrogance or presumption, but about self-confidence that comes from within, based on real achievements and self-knowledge. Women can sense this difference and respond more receptively, both emotionally and physically. It is in this interaction that the conquest becomes more fluid, with less effort, because male security evokes a natural predisposition in female behavior to engage. Female behavior can directly influence male self-esteem, especially during the conquest process. When a woman shows interest, admiration, or sincere compliments, it can strengthen a man's confidence, boosting his sense of self-worth. It's common for men to feel more secure when they perceive positive signals from female behavior, as it validates their actions and decisions. However, it's important that this self-esteem does not rely solely on these external validations. On the other hand, women's reactions can also be challenging, and the man needs to be prepared to handle this without letting it shake his self-confidence. A woman won't always respond as expected, and this response shouldn't be seen as a personal failure. An example would be when a woman is more reserved or distant. In this case, a confident man understands that this is part of the natural dynamics of attraction and doesn't let it affect his behavior or self-esteem. Emotional security is the key to maintaining balance. The strongest male self-esteem is built on the ability to interpret these signals maturely, without losing focus on oneself. The conquest is a process of exchange, and women's psychology is sensitive to men who know how to keep their self-esteem high, regardless of circumstances. The more a man understands that his self-confidence comes from within, the less he depends on external responses to feel secure. This understanding puts him in a position of greater control and self-mastery in the art of conquest. Developing masculine self-confidence is a process that demands continuous action and a focus on personal growth. A practical strategy is to engage in activities that challenge physical and mental abilities, such as sports, meditation, or reading books like The Power of Habit, which helps create routines that shape behavior. These practices strengthen resilience and make a man feel in control of his life. The conquest becomes a natural consequence for someone who is in harmony with himself. Another effective way to increase self-confidence is to improve communication and leadership skills. Participating in public speaking courses, leading small projects, or even creating social opportunities are practical examples that help shape this ability. When a man expresses himself clearly and assertively, he not only gets noticed by women, but also gains respect from those around him. Self-confidence is noticeable in every interaction, making him more naturally attractive. Additionally, taking care of personal appearance and physical health also directly impacts self-confidence. This doesn't mean seeking an aesthetic standard, but rather adopting habits that boost well-being, such as maintaining a routine of exercise and balanced nutrition. These habits make a man feel better about himself, which in turn is reflected in his behavior and in the conquest. When self-confidence comes from within and is supported by consistent actions, male attraction is enhanced. Understanding women's psychology is essential for any man who wants to succeed in conquest. Contrary to what many think, female attraction goes beyond appearance or superficial attitudes. Women are drawn to men who understand their emotional needs and know how to respond with empathy and intelligence. Mastering this knowledge allows a man to create deeper and more genuine connections, facilitating the attraction process and strengthening the bond created. The mistake many men make is focusing exclusively on obvious strategies, like gifts or rehearsed words. Women's psychology, however, responds better to behaviors that demonstrate authenticity and emotional stability. A practical example would be the man who, instead of trying to impress with material things, opts to create memorable moments, such as a meaningful conversation or a gesture that shows genuine interest in her values and interests. This approach generates lasting impact. By understanding how women think and what they truly value, a man significantly increases his chances of naturally conquering. They are looking for more than a casual relationship. They seek someone who understands and respects their emotions. This understanding creates a significant advantage in how a man stands out, as he begins to connect deeply, offering what often lacks in superficial interactions: the ability to listen and provide emotional security. Male attraction is significantly enhanced when a man combines self-confidence with a sharp emotional understanding. Women quickly notice when a man is secure in himself and, at the same time, knows how to deal with both his own emotions and hers. This balance creates an irresistible atmosphere, as the woman feels attracted to someone who is both strong and sensitive. This unique combination is what sets apart an ordinary man from one who truly masters the art of conquest. When a man understands the nuances of female behavior and how women's psychology works, he can adapt without losing his essence. A practical example would be knowing when to demonstrate firmness and, in other moments, offering emotional support. This ability makes him stand out, as few people can balance strength and empathy. This behavior generates an attraction that transcends the superficial, reaching a deeper level of connection. On the other hand, the more a man works on his self-confidence, the more natural this emotional understanding becomes. He stops seeking external approval and becomes self-sufficient in his emotions, which makes him even more attractive. Women perceive this security, and it makes them more inclined to engage. This positive cycle makes self-confidence and emotional understanding two fundamental pillars in building genuine and lasting attraction. And have you ever thought about having a woman you want just through text messages? There is a secret that all women keep with them. This secret is a mental trigger that activates in their heads when you send them some specific messages. I teach all this in an ebook. I will leave it out in the first comment pinned to this video. It's not free because I had work to do, but it's almost free because the price is absurdly low, cheaper than a snack. Go there and get your gift. Now that you know the secret that 99% of men ignore, the question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you keep acting like the majority? Or are you ready to change your approach and finally succeed in the pursuit? Remember, women aren't interested in empty promises or superficial gestures. They're looking for a man who understands what truly matters: genuine self-confidence and the ability to connect emotionally. It's time to put all this into practice. How will you stand out? Start today by working on your self-confidence and understanding women's psychology. And if you want to keep learning more secrets on how to improve your life and relationships, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any valuable content. The change starts now. Are you ready? And even knowing everything I've taught here, they might still drift away from you for some reason. Can happen, as it's happened to me and people I know. Many times they're in a good relationship and report that out of nowhere. She cools off and moves on, leaving you hanging. There are some behaviors you have that you're not even aware of, but they're gradually pushing her away. I explained this better in the video right there on your screen. Click on it and I'll see you there.